What if the greatest empire in history was built by a man whose grave no one can find and no one dares to? The wind howls across the Mongolian steppe. Endless, untamed grasslands stretch beyond the horizon. And somewhere out there, buried deep beneath centuries of silence, lies the tomb of Genghis Khan. Or so the legend says. He was a man born from struggled Temujin, orphaned by betrayal, forged in exile. By the time he became Genghis Khan, he had unified the Mongol tribes and built an empire larger than Alexander, Caesar, or Napoleon ever dreamed. But in death, he vanished. No pyramid, no mausoleum, no grand sarcophagus. His tomb is one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in archaeology. So what happened? Why can't we find it? Let's follow the clues through ancient texts, whispered legends, and cutting-edge satellite scans to unravel a mystery 800 years old. First, the Mongol custom of secrecy. The Mongols revered their dead, but unlike other empires, they kept burial sites hidden, especially for someone like Genghis. The official story goes, when Genghis Khan died in 1227, his body was taken back to Mongolia, to the sacred Burkhan Khaldun mountain. But even that is debated. Historical records say the funeral procession killed anyone who saw them en route. That's right, villagers, travelers, even animals were slain to keep the secret. And once the tomb was built, legend says soldiers trampled the earth flat with horses. Then they diverted a river over it. Then they killed the builders. And then they killed the soldiers. Too brutal to believe? Not in 13th century Mongolia. Genghis's legacy was too powerful to be disturbed. Even in death, he was to be protected. Centuries passed. Empires rose and fell, but the legend endured. Explorers, historians, even treasure hunters have sought the tomb. All failed. Why? It isn't just about terrain. The Mongolian government has long resisted excavation efforts. To them, the tomb is sacred. In fact, the mountain believed to be his burial place, Burkhan Khaldun, is protected by law. No digging, no drones, not even research. But that hasn't stopped the world from looking. In 2001, a Japanese Mongolian team claimed they found signs of a royal burial near the Onon River. Excitement swelled, but then nothing. Their findings were quietly shelved. Official permissions were revoked. The site closed. Then came technology. In the 2010s, a team from the University of California used satellite imagery and crowdsourcing to scan the steppe. They asked thousands of online volunteers to identify man-made structures in satellite photos. Some patterns emerged. Hopes soared. But again, the leads faded. The steppe is vast, and time has swallowed centuries of clues. The tomb stayed hidden. Why does this mystery persist? Maybe because it was meant to. Genghis Khan didn't just want a resting place. He wanted to become myth. Think about it. In life, he shattered empires. He conquered more territory than any man in history. Why not defy death too? By vanishing, he became eternal. He blurred the line between man and legend. His tomb isn't missing, it's protected by belief. Yet the obsession continues. Some researchers now look to new tech ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR, and AI pattern recognition. Others suggest looking to oral history. Mongol shamans still guard tales of sacred lands, of places you don't go, even today. Some stories say Genghis chose to be buried in secrecy so his soul could roam the land he loved. Not locked in stone, but free. A few claim the tomb has already been found and hidden again by those who believe disturbing it would curse the world. And here's the twist. What if finding it isn't the point? What if the mystery is the message? Archaeologist Dr. Albert Yu once said, "The moment we find Genghis Khan, we lose him. He becomes just another king in a box." Because right now, he's more than a king. He's a ghost that rides with the wind, a story told in campfire whispers. He is both everywhere and nowhere. His face etched into Mongolian cliffs, his name feared from Baghdad to Beijing. He unified the wildest tribes under one banner, and then he vanished into that wilderness. In the end, Genghis Khan may have buried himself in the only place no one can dig. In memory, in myth, in the silence between thunderclaps across the steppe. Even today, travelers who venture deep into Mongolia claim to feel watched, protected, or warned. Could it be superstition or something more? The Mongols say the land remembers, that its hills guard secrets and its rivers whisper truths. Maybe the tomb isn't a place, but a pact between a man and a people, between history and mystery. That pact says, do not disturb, let the past lie, let the Khan rest. Or risk waking the storm, he wrote. Because if Genghis Khan could disappear this thoroughly, imagine what else he planned. A grave under a river, a legacy in silence, a warning written in blood. And yet, we keep looking. Maybe because in that search, we find something of ourselves. A hunger for meaning, for myth, for the one story no one can finish. There are still caves no one has entered, valleys unmarked on maps, paths lost to time. Every year, new expeditions quietly go out, hoping this time, this scan, this theory will be it. And every time, the silence wins. Not defeat, not failure, just reverence. A reverence for the unknowable, for the one man who commanded death as he did life, who built a nation from nothing and became a phantom. They say the steppe gives and the steppe takes. It gave the world Genghis Khan, and it took him back, not into a grave, into legend. So the next time you hear the wind over the plains of Mongolia, listen closely, not for footsteps, but for hoofbeats. Not for answers, but for echoes. Because maybe, just maybe, the greatest tomb ever built was never built at all. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this journey, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.